Greetings, YouTube. When it comes to compensation, believe it or not, I'm generally reluctant to make a video about it because what I've learned over the years is that there's a segment of the community that is so thirsty for compensation. And of course, who wouldn't be excited about free stuff, right? But that it's almost become like a joke where the game can be down for literally 30 seconds and I'm getting flooded with comments on my YouTube videos and private direct messages of people just saying like, "Where's my 6-star Nexus?" It's like the 6-star Nexus pitchfork crowd. And so what we don't want to do as a community is just demand, heaven and earth every time the game goes down. And I get some of you, your rebuttal will be correct in that when we first started playing this game like 4 years ago, and a different company owned it, and they were desperate to get people to keep playing because the Marvel Casino hadn't filled up with users as much. The game could be down for 30 seconds, and when you logged back in, they always did two things. They acknowledged it and apologized and said it was not performing to their standards, and then they'd give you something small. Usually it was just 100 to 200 units worth of stuff, a couple of potions and revives, maybe a couple of Alliance potions and revives, and maybe an energy refill. So not a lot, but to me, it was just super impressive as somebody who had never played mobile games before that they were willing to do this, and it really did give me a trust with the company that, well, eventually kind of changed, but I was sold. It meant a lot to me. Well, we know that times are much different now. Now, compensation packages are much different now. So they've replaced the quantity of the apologies with the quality. So we may only get 1 or 2 compensation packages a year now, but the compensation packages can include a crazy amount of stuff, especially depending on your progression level. This past month, we know, has been so difficult for all users of both Android and iPhone. My game still crashes every 10 to 15 minutes. Now, thankfully, I don't do Alliance War, so it's only crashed a couple of times in the middle of Alliance Quest fights, and yes, that sucks. I lose half my health, and I have to restart the fight. But that's far less stakes than when it happens in Alliance War. But for me, at least, I've been able to get to the loading screen, and it just won't load the fight. It'll be the spinny wheel of death as the server icon continues to do its thing. But what's changed for some of you this week, especially you Android users, is what we're going to cover in this video. Because yes, there are crashes, and yes, that sucks. And Kabam knows that, and in their defense, I don't know if it's on their end, and they seem to acknowledge it, but also not know how to fix it. So I know they would not want this problem to continue just as much as anybody else, because if you have an app that keeps crashing, it makes your users less likely to keep logging in. But this Android issue, and maybe it's for iPhones too, but it's something that's been brought up to me, especially in the last 24 to 48 hours. Now that I'm finally catching up on my messages, because I was out of town, I wanted to put a spotlight on what this looks like, because you have this summoner, Mr. Team Soko, who is jumping into an Alliance War fight against Dr. Doom with, I believe, Dr. Doom. And his game, his Android phone, shows him that he has moved to the node. So he should get ready for the fight to load. And so he's in the process. You can see this white line, right? He's in the process of moving, and he should be anticipating, you see the dotted line after, the fight loading. But when he waits and waits and waits, it's just stuck. He's just stuck. Somehow the game has not shown him on his end that he is fighting it, even though the game is registering it, that he has moved. And not only is it registering that he's moved, but that he's hit the fight button as well. And so he eventually has to exit out and try it again. And so as you can imagine, if the game registers that you attempted a fight that you never saw, you look at your Dr. Doom, and he's at 50% health, and you never even saw the fight screen load. And yes, you also took a kill for your Alliance in Alliance War, which could impact whether or not your squad wins your war, whether or not your Alliance wins the war. So this is a specific issue that could literally cost rewards for this Alliance that is outside of their control. And I just want to say, because I am always trying to talk about compassion and empathy, I really, really, really hate when I bring up Android and you have like these iPhone elitists that are like, well, they just need to get a better phone. There are a lot of people out there who are locked into contracts or who quite frankly can't afford a different phone. And some of these Android issues, I've been told, are from new phones. It's not like they're using an Android phone from 5 years ago. This is a 2019, 2020 phone that's still causing these issues. So in this case, I do think the argument for compensation is actually plausible because it's costing people what they would have got progression-wise had they not had this issue, especially in Alliance War. And then, of course, the crash is still happening as well. But I just wanted to get this out there with this video and a brief-ish discussion on this and get your thoughts on it as well, YouTube. And most importantly, for you Android users or iPhone users, if you could put in the comments of this video what phone you're using and what kind of issue you've been running into, this can be one of those discussion board posts where I can collect some data without Kabam censoring it, because one of my main frustrations is when I tell summoners, well, hey, file a help ticket or start a community post, and they say, hey, Prof, I did that, and then the forum post was closed immediately, and I don't even know if I am now silenced on the forums because my friends can no longer see me pop up when I comment. That sucks, and Kabam does have a habit sometimes of doing that pretty fast, so this is a video on a YouTube channel that they don't have control over, to be frank. Have a great rest of your Friday, YouTube. Thanks for watching.